Yeah, I thought about talking about striving for some sort of connection, s- striving for some sort of positive connection, some positive social life, striving for a sense of community. And I've recorded a video about this the other day, but I've not made it public yet, so I intend to do that at some point, but I've gone into detail about social isolation, my experience in education, high school, people being a bit of like a lone wolf, a bit of a black sheep, and having Asperger's and how it may have affected that. And I don't know, but I think I might like expand on it a bit, especially with maybe more of a primary school sort of stuff. So I remember at primary school, this could very much be in my head and just me thinking the worst, but this was probably a time where I don't know how different I was, but I was probably a bit different to the other kids due to having Asperger's. And it was a time where I didn't really mask my Asperger's, and I just embraced being myself, which isn't a bad thing because I think you should be yourself anyway. But and I'm not in contact with anyone at school, and I've always questioned: is this normal? Is that this right? Is this something to do with my Asperger's that has separated me with people that I used to go to school with? And I think the sort of people you go to school with should be your mates. They're, they're your community. They're people your own age. They're the people you grew up with. And I found that I just don't see any of them anymore. I don't really see anyone from school anymore. Probably at a push, I'm probably in contact with one person, and but even he does his own. He has his own life. He's grown up and managed to sustain some sort of normal life, like having a job, having a flat, having a girlfriend, and all that sort of stuff. And with me, like I've never managed to do that. Like for whatever reason, probably Asperger's. But yeah, but yeah, I'm just something I've been questioning for like the last over a decade or so since leaving school, and I can overthink it where it's made me quite ill, and I did eventually get ill where I had a blip in life where I went delusional. I started acting reckless. I started doing rebellious attention seeking stunts, getting delusional, believing some conspiracy theory sort of stuff and reacting to it in a the way I reacted to it was in by humour and did stupid things which I cringe looking back at, and some I'd probably cringe for the rest of my life. But that's probably a topic for another video. And I'm like, I think from like the last year, I've been I've been abroad for the first time in my life, going to like Paris and places like New York, and I think it's made me look at my country in a different way, like experience seeing some sort of life on different land, and it's made me question, like, I don't know, like, and a bit all over the place in my brain, like, oh, there's no life for me here because I don't really have much of a social life, and it's made me think of considering leaving for somewhere else. Like, yeah, for example, I'm looking like that, having a sense of desire, like quoting the film The Beach, desire is desire no matter where you are, even if you're in a paradise, and thinking, no, there's probably a better place in another country like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, America, mainland Europe, or just wherever, Thailand even, and just having desire for a different sort of life because you don't really have much of a life there. But I don't know, it's got me thinking, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, being English, you're supposed to have it good here, and it's like, it's like, I look back to old England, like, I look back to a time, like, that quaint England where people like J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and Roald Dahl lived, and I do that as like some sort of coping mechanism. But yeah, I think I'm going off the topic a bit here. But what I'm trying to get at is that I think having that sense of community, being around good people, makes you see where you are in a different way. And I know for a fact there's probably good people out there, like in England, like my sort of people is just normal, genuine, real people that just have more genuine values, being polite, being kind, having being generous and just all that sort of stuff. But like I've always questioned, like with like my Asperger's and that, like that's put a lot of people off, and I don't know, maybe it has. Maybe I'm thinking the worst, and especially like being ill has probably definitely put people off, and I don't know if anyone really noticed me being ill or to remember me being ill, but I definitely regret that. But like, as we're living in like a time where social media is a thing, and I believe that social media has probably damaged socialising. But I don't know, like when people come from these like big families, like they come from close knit families. Because I don't come from a close knit family, I don't think. where they still see the cousins, they still see their uncle and aunties, they get invited to family barbecues, British values. Like, I think Britain should really be about having a sense of community where you get invited to family barbecues in the summer. And when people have that, I can get really jealous of that because it's something I wish I had. Maybe that was a thing once upon a time when I was a kid, when I used to go and see cousins and my grandma and uncle and aunties down south. Like, I was closer to them down south, who lived miles away than the family I had over here around like the Manchester area, the Greater Manchester area, and it's just sad in my opinion. And like, just needing a sense of community. Like, if you ask me what my ideal life would be, I'd say something like I just need a sense of community where I get invited to family barbecues in the summer. I see cousins, family, my grandma, uncle, and aunties, just coming from a close knit family. I wish I had that. I still saw people that I used to go to school with because they just seemed to have fucked me off, shoved me in under the carpet, and I'm probably just a black sheep at the end of the day. But whatever the reason behind it, it is what it is, and there's not much I can do about it. At the end of the day, I think I just have to fucking ignore it and move on. Probably says more about them than me at the end of the day, probably. Other than me getting ill a couple of years ago, I don't really know what I've done wrong, and that's what it is. Like, you feel like guilt, you feel like you've done something wrong, and Asperger's, sometimes you can come out with the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, you do stuff that are a bit weird. Whether I've done that or not, it's more of a them problem than a me problem, I think. People just, you always hear it like people move on, people are too fucking busy. They're too busy for you. Like, I've had plenty of fucking mates that are too fucking busy. They've moved on, they've fucked off to another part of the country or another country and started their own life, and you just the shit on the side. And it's just that just seems to be the way it is. And when you're socially isolated, you view the world differently. If you view the world in a negative way. If I did have some sort of community, some sort of social life, I'd probably view the world in a far different way, I think. Where I've noticed that where probably in the rare, not, I've had times where I started going to the cricket club again, and I'm kind of around people, and you kind of, when you have positive interaction, which is kind of rare, you view things in a very different way. And I think social isolation causes depression. It's like the equivalent of smoking 100 cigarettes a day, what I've heard. Whether that's factually correct, that's probably for another story, but and yeah. Don't know. I don't know if it's just a sign of the times where people just do their the more clicky. They just, I don't know. And I don't know, I wonder if a life without fucking social media and the internet, if I would have a healthy social life and a sense of community. That's the fucking question. And people who I used to go to school with, especially primary school, and people that live in the local area just seem like they just want fuck all to do with me. And because I've tried following some on social media and they just don't want to fucking know. It seems. But fuck them. So, people say that I should just fuck them off and move on, but sometimes it's not easy to move on. When, like, I don't know, just that's just normal now. People just seem like proper fucking cunts, arrogant generation. Pretty sure there's some good people, some lovely people, but some people just are out there that make me lose faith in humanity. But yeah, I think I'm waffling on for waffling's sake now, so yeah. Catch you in another video. Goodbye.